Hey yo everybody, I'm back. It's me, Gabriel. Today we're going to a new region in the Pokemon world. We're all heading off to the Sinnoh region to learn more Pokemon. So let's head there. Turtwig, the tiny leaf Pokemon, a grass type. Turtwig's shell is made of soil and its whole body can produce energy via photosynthesis. If it goes too long without water, its leaf wilts. Grottle, the grove Pokemon, a grass type. Grottle leaves the shade of its forest home to soak up sunlight with its shell. It's good at finding clear water, and smaller Pokemon often ride on its back when they're thirsty. Torterra, the continent Pokemon, a grass and ground type. There's enough room for Torterra's enormous back for several small Pokemon to make their nests. According to ancient folklore, a particularly large Torterra lived underground. Chimchar, the chimp Pokemon, a fire type. Chimchar's rear is always on fire, even when it stands in the rain. If it's not feeling well, the flame flickers weakly. Monferno, the playful Pokemon, a fire and fighting type. An excellent climber, Monferno can strike from above. It can flare up its tail flame to keep enemies at bay. Infernape, the flame Pokemon, a fire and fighting type. Swift and agile, Infernape puts all four of its limbs to use in its distinctive fighting style. The fire on its head mirrors the fire in its spirit. Piplup, the penguin Pokemon, a water type. Proud and stubborn, Piplup can be a challenge to train. It's quite independent, preferring to take care of itself and find its own food. Prinplup, the penguin Pokemon, a water type. Because Prinplup have a strong sense of self-importance, they tend to live alone. They can topple trees by striking with their wings. Empolean, the Emperor Pokemon, a water and steel type. With the sharp edges of its wings, Empolean can slash through drifting ice as it swims faster than a speedboat. The length of its trident-like horns indicates its power. Starly, the Starling Pokemon, a normal and flying type. Huge flocks of Starly gather in fields and mountains. In such large numbers, their wings flap with impressive power, and their noisy singing is quite a nuisance. Staravia, the Starling Pokemon, a normal and flying type. Staravia travel in large flocks that can be very territorial. Battles sometimes break out between two competing flocks. Staraptor, the Predator Pokemon, a normal and flying type. After evolving, Staraptor go off on their own, leaving their flocks behind. With their strong wings, they can fly with ease, even when carrying a burden. Bidoof, the Plump Mouse Pokemon, a normal type. Bidoof live beside the water where they gnaw on rock or wood to keep their front teeth worn down. They have a steady nature and are not easily upset. Bibarel, the Beaver Pokemon, a normal and water type. With their large, sharp teeth, Bibarel busily cut up trees to build nests. Sometimes these nests block small streams and divert the flow of the water. Kricketot, the Cricket Pokemon, a bug type. The sound of Cricketot's antennae knocking together resembles the sound of a xylophone. They use these sounds to communicate. Cricketune, the Cricket Pokemon, a bug type. Cricketune composes many different melodies that reflect its emotional state. Researchers are trying to determine whether the patterns of its music have a deeper meaning. Shinx, the Flash Pokemon, an electric type. When Shinx senses danger, its fur gives off a bright flash. This brilliant light binds its attacker so Shinx can make a hasty escape. Luxio, the Spark Pokemon, an electric type. A powerful electric current arcs between Luxio's claws, making it a dangerous opponent in battle. They form small groups and live together. Luxray, the Gleam Eyes Pokemon, an electric type. Luxray's gleaming eyes can see through solid objects. This is very useful when it's keeping watch for approaching threats or looking for food. Badoo, the Bud Pokemon, a grass and poison type. When the weather turns cold, Badoo's bud is tightly closed. In the springtime, it opens up again and gives off its pollen. Roserade, the Bouquet Pokemon, a grass and poison type. With its beautiful blooms, enticing aroma, and graceful movements, Roserade is quite enchanting. But watch out, its arms conceal thorny whips and the thorns carry poison. Cranidos, the headbutt Pokemon, a rock type. Fossilized trees, broken in half, are often found in the same area as Cranidos fossils. This Pokemon lived in the ancient jungle and also used its powerful headbutt to battle its rival, Aerodactyl. Ramparados, the headbutt Pokemon, a rock type. A headbutt from Ramparados is powerful enough to knock down a tall building. To adapt to this rough treatment, its skull has grown thick and hard, which unfortunately doesn't leave much room for brains. Shieldon, the shield Pokemon, a rock and steel type. In its own time, this ancient Pokemon lived in the jungle. Many Shieldon fossils have been found, and the heavy armor that protected this Pokemon's face is generally well preserved. Bastiodon, the shield Pokemon, a rock and steel type. Bastiodon is well guarded against a frontal assault, but it's vulnerable from the rear. Fossils of Bastiodon and Ramparados have been discovered in the same places, often locked together in eternal combat. Burby, the bagworm Pokemon, a bug type. Burby creates a cloak for itself out of whatever materials it can find. The cloak protects it from chilly temperatures and shields it in battle. Did you know that each Burby covers up with the objects around it? This Burby uses rocks and sand for protection. If you're looking for Burby with a trash cloak, try poking around inside a few buildings. You might get lucky. Wormadon, the bagworm Pokemon, a bug and grass type. The cloak it wore as Burby becomes a permanent part of Wormadon's body. Its appearance is determined by its surroundings at the time of evolution. If you want a bug and ground type Wormadon, make sure your Burmy has a sandy cloak. Once Burmy evolves, there's no turning back. Looking for a Wormadon with awesome steel type moves? You'll need to evolve a Burmy with a trash cloak. Mothim, the moth Pokemon, a bug and flying type. Mothim loves the taste of Combi's honey. Sometimes it will raid a hive at night to steal the sweet substance. Combi, the tiny bee Pokemon, a bug and flying type. Combi are always in search of honey, which they bring to their Vespiquen leader. They cluster together to sleep in a formation that resembles a hive. Vespiquen, the beehive Pokemon, a bug and flying type. Vespiquen controls the colony that lives in its honeycomb body that is releasing pheromones. It feeds the colony with honey provided by Combi. Pachirisu, the Squirrel Pokemon, an electric type. When Pachirisu affectionately rub their cheeks together, they're sharing electric energy with each other. The balls of fur they shed crackle with static. Weasel, the Sea Weasel Pokemon, a water type. Weasel rapidly spins its two tails to propel itself through the water. The flotation sac around its neck keeps its head up without effort, and it can deflate the sac to dive. Floatzel, the Sea Weasel Pokemon, a water type. The flotation sac that surrounds its entire body makes Floatzel very good at rescuing people in the water. It can float them to safety like an inflatable raft. Cherubi, the cherry Pokemon, a grass type. Cherubi stores nutrients in its small red ball attached to its head. When it's ready to evolve, it uses up all the nutrients at once, making the small ball wither. Cherim, the blossom Pokemon, a grass type. Cherim keeps its petals floated around itself except in bright sunshine. When the weather is nice, its bloom opens wide to absorb as much sunlight as it can. Shellos, the sea slug Pokemon, a water type. Each sea shellos are bright blue, reflecting the color of their ocean home. Although the two variants of Shellos look quite different from each other, they have the same battle skills and behaviors. The seashore-dwelling Shellos have varied coloration depending on where they live and what they eat. Wet sea Shellos are bright pink. Gastrodon, the sea slug Pokemon, a water and ground type. Color variation between Gastrodon from different habitats have intrigued scientists for some time. Research is underway to find out what happens when a blue East Sea Gastrodon is moved to Western Seas. If West Sea's Gastrodon loses a part of its squishy pink body, it can regenerate. It sometimes comes forth from the seas to wander on land, and no one really knows why. Ambipom, the long-tail Pokemon, a normal type. Ambipom can be territorial when it's defending its favorite trees from rival Pansimian, but it also has a soft side. It shows affection by hugging its trainer tightly with both of its long tails. Driftblim, the balloon Pokemon, a ghost and flying type. Scary stories are told of children who took hold of Driftblim's dangling strings and were never seen again. The spirit within its floating body is only barely contained. Any puncture could send it spilling out with a ghostly shriek. Driftblim, the blimp Pokemon, a ghost and flying type. Driftblim take to the sky at dusk, flying in large groups. They can be hard to track even for a dedicated observer, because they sometimes disappear right in front of people's eyes. Buneary, the rabbit Pokemon, a normal type. Buneary is cute and cuddly, but its ears pack enough punching power to pulverize a boulder. It always keeps one ear rolled up, ready to unleash a punch in response to a surprise attack. Lopunny, the rabbit Pokemon, a normal type. Because Lopunny sheds its plush coat twice a year, people use its fur to craft exceptional warm scarves and hats. It's not a fan of fighting, but its powerful kicking skills let it hold of its own in battle. Mismagius, the magical Pokemon, a ghost type. Mismagius wields an impressive arsenal of tricks to torment people, launching curses, creating visions of terror, and casting love spells. Some people have been fooled into thinking the last one is harmless fun. Honchkrow, the big boss Pokemon, a dark and flying type. Honchkrow keeps an army of Murkrow at its beck and call, ruling by intimidation. The underlings know what if they don't keep Honchkrow fed, it won't hesitate to punish them. Glam Meow, the catty Pokemon, a normal type. When it's feeling happy and friendly, Glam Meow purrs winningly and performs a lovely dance with its spiritual tail. When it's in a bad mood, however, the claws comes out. Purugly, the tiger cat Pokemon, a normal type. Purugly wraps its two tails around its waist to make itself look bigger. It's been known to kick other Pokemon out of their comfortable nest and take over. Chingling, the bell Pokemon, a psychic type. When Chingling hops about, a small orb bounces around inside its mouth, producing a noise like the sound of bells. It uses high-pitched sounds to attack its opponent's hearing. Stunky, the skunk Pokemon, a poison and dark type. The terrible smelling fluid that Stunky sprays from its rear can keep others far away from it for a whole day. Skuntank, the skunk Pokemon, a poison and dark type. From the end of its tail, Skuntank can shoot a nauseous fluid more than 160 feet. This fluid smells awful, and the stench only gets worse if it's not cleaned up immediately. Bronzor, the bronze Pokemon, a steel and psychic type. In ancient times, people thought a mystical power was contained within Bronzor's back pattern. Artifacts matching its shape have been discovered in tombs from that era. Bronzong, the bronze bell Pokemon, a steel and psychic type. In ancient times, people thought Bronzong was responsible for making the rain fall, so they often asked it for help to make their crops flourish. Bonsai, the bonsai Pokemon, a rock type. Bonsai sweats by releasing moisture from its eyes, which makes it look like it's crying. It prefers a dry environment where few plants grow, but that often leaves it without camouflage. Mine Jr., the mine Pokemon, a psychic and fairy type. Mine Jr. is constantly working to perfect its mimicry skills, but it tends to become overly excited when it's doing well. As a result, it forgets that it was even imitating something in the first place. I'm gonna have to cut short right here, everyone. I'll be doing part 2 later, so thanks for watching, and keep on researching.